Greetings, welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host, Jeffico. My host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
What'd you think of this episode, Chris?
We sure cried a lot.
Yeah, there were a lot of emotions felt by everybody in this room.
Yeah, so we're back to that. I don't know. This was a really heavy episode. Everyone was sad all the time.
Yeah.
Which does make sense, because Book's entire planet is gone. And that's heavy.
You know, Book, he's empathic towards animals and spiritual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't catch on when the birds knew, Chris. The birds knew.
The birds knew.
This episode starts out with sadness. Then we go to a meeting at Starfleet headquarters where we saw some other captains.
Yeah, we got to see some different people, and the representative from Navarre was there for some reason.
Yep.
I guess they were just having a meeting.
Falcon Lady, why not?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, hey, if you guys want some scientists, because everybody's there is asking Discovery, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
People from the past that don't have advanced sensors and stuff. Like,
we advanced sensors now.
We updated your thing a bit,
yeah,
but...
I did think it was hilarious how they're like, hey, you know, Stamets, the guy who's an expert in mushrooms from 900 years ago, please explain this current anomaly that's happening. And he's just up there, he's like, yep, this sure is the anomaly. It looks kind of like a mushroom over here, because that's what I know about.
Nice.
And my crew from 900 years ago has been analyzing this, and we don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
I was expecting some guy in the back to be like, you know, oh, it's this thing. Yeah, those were discovered about 200 years ago.
5 light years across. That's the size of the gravitational anomaly that hit Kwok-Choon and the space station.
5 light years? That's massive.
Maybe anyone else should be looking at this.
You know, I'm just going to repeat our conversation from earlier. There should just be a lieutenant on this ship, just like, oh, that'd be cool. I'd love to serve on this old ship or whatever. And he's like, never going to get promoted, never do anything. But he knows everything about this time, so he's constantly pointing out to them.
They need a Neelix.
Yeah.
It would make complete sense for them to have a Neelix.
I preferred your boy more.
Or a boy, anything. But yeah, like, I'm totally down with, you know, Discovery absolutely has a place in this future Federation. Like, we can, especially after we've deleted Kwok-Choon and nobody else can use the spore drive, but they can just boop around, you know, putting out fires or introducing themselves. I mean, like, hey, we got a Federation, do you want to federate? And, you know, sure, like, they can go on specialized missions. There's absolutely things for them to do. But it doesn't make a goddamn bit of sense to me why they're just suddenly the leader in the room. Why are they taking point on this?
Yeah, everybody's looking to them for answers. You pointed out something earlier, and I'm hoping the show, like, just doesn't ignore the fact that Burnham looks pregnant. Book and Burnham have a kid. She has a kid. They acknowledge that on the show. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, distortions, time jump. Kid becomes older, so we can kill off Book. We can kill off Stamets. And then the kid's older. He can do the spore drive.
That's what the plan is? Is that the plan?
The show's always going to go somewhere, Chris. And that's where I think it's heading.
Okay, because what I thought they were going to do is, yes, because Sonequa Martin Green is pregnant, so I assume that they will...
If they acknowledge it.
Yeah, if they acknowledge it, you know, they can make that up. So I assume it's going to be that she's carrying the future of Kwok-Choon inside her, because the complete annihilation of Book species needs to be about Burnham. So that's going to be that, I feel.
Yeah, well, so they head out to the anomaly.
Today we seek to understand a threat like none our galaxy has faced before. We lost colleagues in Kwok-Choon.
And it's like, yeah, Book is technically the best person to do this, but he's severely emotionally compromised.
And here's, like, my issue was, like, okay, well, we're not going to send Stamets because, like, he's the spore guy, so, like, we need him here. We'll send him in a hollow so it's safe. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to send Detmer because Book's a better pilot than Detmer for his own ship.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you send Cruz or anybody else, some spirit medical person, anybody like a Tilly or somebody to help him when he loses his mind a bit?
I guess. There's some wisdom to not wanting to expose any more people to the danger than you need to, but I guess once you've committed to sending the ship,
Yeah.
Like, if something bad happens, it's not like you're gonna get the ship back.
Also way too small. Not enough mass to penetrate the dust.
My ship can do it. Enough mass to get in, not so much that I'll be in trouble. Plus, my ship can change shape to compensate for the torque. As long as I'm not inside too long.
Well, I mean, it's not like she was planning on leaving the ship anyway. She wasn't sacrificing him, so...
Yeah.
Put it,
well, I guess that... Well,
then
they can just reel,
together.
they can reel the ship back.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have mattered. It should... No, I think that was fine. Because there shouldn't have been any reason for them to not be able to just reel the ship back.
Well, they should have put, like, somebody else on there, though. Somebody physically that could help Book if he got knocked out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, somebody hail Grudge. Grudge, could you wake Book up?
Well, no, Stamets could interact physically with things.
Well, I mean,
Don't cry at me. He had to fix stuff while he was there. He was interacting physically with things.
he couldn't hit the button to say, go ride the wave now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
Couldn't slap Book and be like, get it together, man.
Get it together. Yeah, give me that airplane scene.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming in a hollow to smack him around.
So, here's another moment that upset me greatly was,
Oh.
Cruz talking
There
about...
we go. Some guy, some admiral.
Yeah, some admiral and his, android body and how it will age and all this stuff. And I was like, don't remind me.
Why is it so cringe when Discovery does it?
Yeah, like,
why is this?
The thing is that it's gonna bother me so much because you know unless Q right away in season 2 Picard's just like, now you're human, stop this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Picard's gonna be like out of breath and he's gonna be old and he's gonna be like, It's like, but you're an android, you shouldn't be any of that.
But they specifically programmed the android to do all that.
It hurts so
They specifically
much.
did.
Hurts
Why
so
not?
much.
Why not?
Yeah.
The artisan did a beautiful job with the body. She used the Soong method, named after the 24th century cyberneticist who developed it.
This is 800-year-old technology?
Maybe I should get a synth body when I die too.
Why is Gray getting the body? Like, for one, fine. Oh, yeah. Like, relationship, cool. Big help to us on Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's a keen mind that could use a body that has a consciousness just floating out there? Moriarty.
Or Zora.
Yeah, Zora too. I wonder what Zora would... Oh, thanks, Chris. Now I got a new fantasy. Would she be best girl? She could be anyone.
She could be anyone.
Did see a lot of my best girl today, actually, Nielsen.
Yeah, she's getting Actually, you know what? We are getting some lines.
Yeah.
And some character from the bridge crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Bryce is a surfer dude.
Bryce is a surfer dude. Not real surfing, like, he has to hold the, like...
Yeah, he's got the wind surf, but
surfing.
we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
And you know what? I would like to see a scene where he takes a couple of the crew out on the ocean in the holodeck and just go surfing, and they hang out and chat. Just a nice little, like, hey, let's not be upset for about 5 minutes and, like, get to know each other and be like, oh, yeah, you're from Hawaii, too? I'm from Hawaii. That's awesome.
They can even do that Generations thing while, they're hanging out on the holodeck going swimming, and then something bad happens, and they got to deal with the crisis in their swim trunks.
Yeah, that'd be...
We can do that.
I'm already involving Detmer and Nielsen in this. But yeah, no, that'd be cool. Just give us... that'd be some cool character stuff outside of the whole I'm emotional, I'm upset. Like Tilly's all like, oh, like this station, it's really tough. And I mean, I know the writers are from like previous seasons, all the tragedy that she went through there, but like it's still part of the character. Like, you lost a lot more. You were in a war. And she's just staring at Saru, who... I'll just be your first officer now, because you don't have one, because Jeff was right.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Sorry. Just, I was... sorry, I'm just keep making it more and more weird. I'm just gonna say it. Did you get taller?
What did happen? Because they haven't addressed at all that Tilly was doing first officer things. They're like, this episode's like, we don't have a first officer. We need one of them. What, dude? What?
Yeah, that's why...
No wonder she's feeling a little
weird. Yeah, that's why she was staring at Saru, and that's why she's going to have this talk with now counselor, doctor there, and it's all like, I want to be your first officer. Now, they haven't said any of that, but that's what I take.
Yeah, I assume that's what she's going to be a little squiggly about.
Like, I mean, I'm sorry, like, you didn't even graduate Starfleet Academy and you're a lieutenant now. Yeah. Wesley didn't get the jump that high.
Yeah.
And he was way better. Wesley was a keen mind. And he was a traveler. I mean, he could show up in this show, to be honest.
Still hanging around.
He probably could just jump to the future whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Can you save Discovery, though, Wesley? Can't you? Yeah, Book's out there, runs into some trouble, and they have to let him tether free and get more data, and then he rides the wave back. And oh, how about that gravity, where everybody just gets pulled up, falls
cool
down.
Effect.
Cool effect, sure.
Yeah.
And then what about that second one where Tilly's just like,
hey guys, I have something really important to tell you. We've been doing math back here, and we have determined when the next wave's gonna hit.
oh, when's that gonna be? Oh, in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, maybe lead with that. Maybe you can use even the comm badge from the other room or something.
Or
to
just
be like, by the way.
Another wave, 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, because if you do that, it would be like, oh yeah, it's hitting in 10 seconds. Instead of huffing and puffing your way to the other room.
10 seconds, another wave happened. We did all the math and stuff and the calculations in the other room. And it was
Yeah.
Why would brace yourself? Seatbelts, guys. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Captain, we're about to be hit by a subspace gravitational wave. Status report!
I do want to have a little bit of a complaint about, I guess this just doesn't matter at all.
Are you going to complain about the anomaly?
I don't understand how the anomaly poses a danger to, like, a lot of the other planets, because sure, it's moving, but it's moving at sublight speeds, because Discovery was just chilling next to it with their tether. So it's not moving at a significant speed. So yes, it's eaten Kwok-Choon, but even if it's 5 light years wide, it's got to move a couple light years to get to the next system at sublight speeds. So I feel like they should have a while to just chill on this, but they don't, and that's not how we're going to do this season. But like, I don't know, does this anomaly have a warp drive? How is it getting to these other systems to eat
I had the issue with them constantly saying, well, it can't do that, or it shouldn't be able to do that. You guys went out there because you know nothing about it, and you wanted to get research, and even at the end of this,
because they were saying, like, we think this is 2 black holes, so if it's 2 black holes, it shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going to stick with my theory. I think it's a terrible theory. I think it's ridiculous, but somebody's controlling this.
Somebody's controlling
I mean,
it.
if it's natural, then what?
What if it's alive and they need to learn to communicate with it?
Yeah, be like, go away.
Go away.
Don't become AI machines and eat us.
Go away.
Yeah. Gonna create the world, Chris. Arr, hey.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Tilly just
please leave
trying
that
to do
lower
comedy.
decks.
Yeah.
Please leave that to lower decks.
That was demonstrated that could be good comedy on lower decks. Unless Mike McMahon comes in to direct this episode. And it's funny because I saw a post on Twitter or whatever, and there were 2 writers for this, and both of them write really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like this episode. I feel like we should have a cry now.
Yeah.
Because I saw so many of that. It started with a cry.
Mm-hmm.
It was like emotionals in between, and then it was just like at the end, it's just like more.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a very downer episode. I feel, I guess this is moving into final thoughts, but I feel kind of bad for being hard on this episode for all the crying and sadness, giving the actual content of the episode, which is very sad. Like, we have destroyed this guy's entire planet.
No, that happened last episode.
But just coming off of 3 full seasons of crying, and we're just... It's exhausting.
Well,
the show's exhausting.
I would have liked this to go in a, I'll say, manlier direction, because like Book could have really stood out in this episode, but he didn't. He just discovered out the whole time. Was it like, I won't be upset. I'm lost in my thoughts. He could have like shown up at that meeting, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck, what's Book doing here?" And they're like, "No, go on, tell me more about this shit." Yeah, yeah. And it's just like he could almost be like Ahab hunting a whale. Like, I'm gonna figure this shit out, and like be intense about it.
Obsessive,
but he's not.
Yeah,
he's just like, I'm sad. I'm this. Like he like so many opportunities in this. He could have like freaked out. He could have like had an outburst, and he didn't. And I felt bad for David Ajou because he could have got an opportunity to do a lot more with this character in this episode.
Yeah. So okay. So I don't. I mean, the way he responds to that is fine. Like, that's a valid way to respond to tragedy or whatever. But I think it would have been more interesting as a show, especially for Discovery. Like an Ahab hunting the white whale kind of thing. Like, I think that would have been more interesting.
Or
it
even,
would have been
like,
different.
Yeah, has the data from Mr. Booker's ship shed new light on the nature of this threat?
Not yet. We still have an Everest-sized mountain of data to analyze it. Oh, Earth Mountain. It's very big.
I don't know anything about this anomaly, just like the crew. But like, it could be like, oh, don't go in there. Like, you might not come out, and then just have him go in there and not come out for a few episodes, and then like you can get a message from him later, and that'd be like, oh, what the hell happened to Book? There's some story there. Like, there's a lot more they could have done, I think, and I would have liked to have seen him kick some ass in this episode, just like acting wise. We did get a lot of jibber jabber out of Stamets, and they were kind of giving us character stuff. Stamets was all like, oh, I'm a little bit jealous because you saved my family and I couldn't do shit with the spore drive last time, and he even throws that little joke of check me out the thing there, and this is like, but to me it's the way he's so nervous and the way he's talking. It's like I don't care. Like, character development is nice, but like the way you're doing it, I'm just like, you've lost me. Like, I don't care. So yeah, I'm just gonna file this one back here and get hyped for next week, I guess. I was hyped to watch Prodigy after this, but apparently there's a break till January or something. So
no more Prodigy till next year.
Yeah, so I guess get through Discovery and then some Prodigy after that, and then probably Picard, and then probably Strange New Worlds, and then probably Lower Decks, and somewhere in the middle of that, Orville.
Ooh, Orville. Yes, we're excited for more Orville.
Yeah. Well, guys, comment below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this episode.
Yes,
I know some of you are big Discovery lovers, and you might not like us pooping on it a bit, but some of you have the same feelings. I don't know. What do you think of this episode? Let me know. Where do you think the direction's going to go? Is it going to be a supervillain? I think it is.
I think it's going to be alive.
Yeah.
Feature. Or like there was an episode of Voyager, I think, where the cloud anomaly was alive.
It's eating us.
Yeah.
There was that the garbage one or whatever. There's probably a few. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. See you next week.
Yep.